gonna be here. They're gonna be here. Amen. Welcome to the video. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. I've got a stack of these footages. So anyway, we are here riding along, and we are going up Norton Summit. Just letting you know, this is May. This is May. It's a sunny day here in Australia. This is the winter sun, and we're about to turn left up Norton Summit. I've got the guys about to come behind me, come around, and this is the start of Norton Summit here. Very popular climb in Australia, probably one of the most popular climbs in Australia. It's more of a power climb. It's not really a climber's climb, but it's a climb where it's really good to learn bunch positioning, because this guy's got a flat or something, but it's a climb where you've got to learn bunch positioning, because it is quite a fast climb, and on fast climbs, if you don't react at the right time, then you're going to get popped. So the guys are just behind me, and about to come around in a second. That's really important, is to like have that bunch positioning on fast climbs. Otherwise, again, you just got to waste a lot of energy. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drop right to the back, last wheel, which is the worst place to be. It's the worst place to be, because when a breakaway happens, you got to go around the entire group to get on. All right, so I'm going to go dead last wheel. Is there any more guys coming behind me? I think this is it. All right, so I'm the last rider. Look over my shoulder, and I'm going to jump on the back. So I'm dead last. That's the first mistake, you know, pros don't do. You should never stay dead last on a fast climb, because if there is a breakaway, if there's like a lull in speed and the breakaway goes, because the power goes down, then you're at the back, and then you got to bridge this massive gap. You know what I mean? So we've got like 20 meters to the front of this bunch almost. So that's pro mistake number one, is don't sit at the back on fast climbs, because as soon as an attack goes, you won't be able to really gap it. Otherwise, if you do, you'll burn a lot of energy. You'll produce a lot of lactate, because your power spike will be larger than the people at the front who can react straight away. So you want to be up the front. You want to be sort of top 5 on a fast climb. Top 5 is where you want to be. Especially unless it's like your team's on the front and they're going to ride at a certain wattage and you can just sit at the back. Yeah, but if you're in a race where there's going to be attacks happening and you have to go with the wheel, then you want to be up the front, you know, top 5. Oh my god, I just hit my shin. Oh fuck, hit the shin on the bend. You ever done that? Fuck, that hurt. Oh my god, Jesus. So I'm on the back here. Oh man, that hurt the shin. It's like Muay Thai training. Fuck. I gotta get tougher, don't I? Oh man. Anyway, so the pace is pretty steady. We're doing it probably about 320 watts. So it's fast, but it's not that fast as it can be, as it will be later on, I'm sure, because you can tell when a bunch is going really fast is the front. It'll just be one line. It'll be one line, because guys don't want to, you know, just be doing two abreast. So we're doing one line. It'll be like a real race pace, and you can see it's starting to split up a little bit, isn't it? We're overtaking some other riders. Oh, there's a rider behind me. There was a rider, but one more rider behind me. So we'll get back on. And another pro mistake is, what am I doing? Like, oh, I wasn't at the back. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. So now I'm talking to someone else. So I'm not at the back even, but I've let the gap go. You know, that's another big mistake. What's this triathlete doing? Grinding along. So look, there's a big gap there. You know, there's a big gap. That's pro mistake number 2. Don't let gaps open up. Get on the gap straight away. So I'm just like lagging out there, because if you let the gap open up, then you got to chase it back down. So you never let a gap open up. Close it straight away. Close the door. Close the door, as they say. Close that door straight away. So now I'm back on. That's wasted energy, isn't it? I should have just closed it straight away. If you let a gap open, then you have to spike your power to close it. And every time you spike your power, you're producing more lactate. And every time you're producing higher levels of lactate, you're producing more hydrogen ions. And that's what shuts your muscles down from really performing well. It's the hydrogen ions. So you want to close the gap. You want to hold the wheel. You want to be at the front. And we have a rider here. And you always want to be paying attention as well. So your 2 riders jumping out the back door. They're getting dropped. Potentially, maybe. Let's see what happens. So this is pro mistake number 3. Don't let people get in front of you, because now I'm opening up another gap. I'm slowing down, and that, you know what I mean? This rider may or may not get dropped. You know, he may or may not get dropped. So what I'm doing now is I'm just being courteous, which is fine on this ride. You know, it's just a bunch ride. But in a race, you don't want to do that, because you could drop yourself from being courteous, you know. But on a ride like this, I'm fine to do that because, you know, I'm a pretty fast climber and I can sort of, you know, do things like that. But if you're in a race situation, then being courteous won't be to your benefit. I'm just going to change this little font here. So that rider there was good. He pointed out a stick. So you can see different pedaling styles in this climb as well. You can see the riders are grinding, or you can see riders spinning. And we do know that pro tip number 4 is you got to spin to win. You can't grind these days unless you can only get away with grinding if you're riding with people you're a lot fitter than, and you're just doing it for some reason. But if you really want to be competitive, you have to spin. If you're riding with people with similar fitness level, you have to spin. Otherwise, you're gonna get dropped off the back. So we're just cruising up the Nortons here, and we're I think the pace normally lights up around this hairpin, but it always varies week to week, depends on how frisky the lads feel. And we're just going to cruise on up. And again, the pace is starting to heat up a little bit. You can see the single file, the structure of the group is breaking up. It is starting to get a bit disorganized, which is totally fine and normal once the intensity goes up. So we're going past some riders here. We're flying up this climb. These boys are fit, and you can sort of see the pace. As the bunch gets skinnier, the pace is going up. So now you can see in the front, now it's stringing out. And now this is pro mistake number 1. Again, I'm at the back. And this is really bad, because if his peloton, if his bunch splits in the middle, then I've got to go around everybody to get back up the front. So this is a big mistake as well. Being dead last wheel. You want to be up that top 5 group. So have a look how long this group is now. So look at that. This guy's already hitting that apex, that corner there, and I'm way back. And look, there's a gap there. So there's gaps opening up. So I'm way back. This is a really, really amateur move by me. But I did it to show just for the camera, you know. I never make mistakes, man. I'm the best. So anyway, so now you can see the acceleration's going. Riders are out the saddle. That's a good indication that the acceleration's happening. Is riders are starting to get out the saddle to put down more power. You see riders are spinning a high cadence, and more power. So now I've got to go, look at that gap. And now I've got to close this gap. This is extra work. Now the pace is really going on. So my watts is probably 700 watts just to close the gap, you know. But if I was at the front, I wouldn't have to do that. So that's where I waste energy. That's where an energy waster right there. So I'm going around, the guys behind me got dropped off, and now I'm back on this group. And they'll probably do about another split soon. But you can sort of see that's a wasted energy. Now I'm having to catch my breath and sort of do this stuff. So that's a big mistake as well. Which is pro tip number 1 is too far at the back. And then this right here, see that gap is opening up the wheel a bit? There we go. So that's another one. I should close that gap straight away. And you do it, you know, courteously, you don't do it aggressively. So there's a gap opening up. I'm letting that's too big of a gap. You should always close that gap straight away. And maybe I said something to the lad and he closed it, I'm not sure. You can maybe say, hold the wheel, sir. In racing, you get, if you open up a gap like that in racing, it's going to get sworn at. It's like, hold the wheel, cunt. Hold the fucking wheel. But in a bunch ride, it's all good. Just out having training. So now the pace has slowed down a bit. You can see it's 2 abreast again. But which means the friskier riders will gonna go. And this guy, I think he's had enough. He's had enough of that pace, and he's gonna roll off. And when I see another gap, looks like an attack there. But again, I'm behind other riders. I should be up the front. I should have moved right up the front. But that's all right. This is so you guys can learn. He's still there. He's doing well. So that's another thing, is like these guys really push themselves hard, and that's why Adelaide is such a good place, because you have people who push themselves so hard on the climbs here. It's really awesome, and that's the best way to get super fast, is just ride with people who are going to push themselves like these guys are. And look, he's looking back. He's gone to white jersey up there. He's now single, and now it's going fast again. Look, there's an attack. Yep, there's an attack. Here we go. Look at that, it's split, and I'm at the back here. Look at that. Look at that big gap's open right up. It's broken right apart. Riders getting shelled out the back. I've let the gap open up again, and I'm going to have to close another 700 watt acceleration, maybe 800 watts. Now so it's probably 800 watts. If I have to get out the saddle, it's probably about 800 to close that gap again. But and then I got to go have more and more riders. Can you see the mistake I've made here? Can you see how silly that was? Again, I should have been up the front, top 5 on the climb, always top 5 on the fast climb. But you know, that's. Can you imagine being the pro peloton fighting for position? It's hardcore, man. It's hardcore. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you can see I've wasted a lot of energy doing that, and this energy's going to bite me in the bum later on. It's going to bite me in the bum later on. So now how many riders we got left? This is now the pace is on. Now the pace is on. Now the pace is on. How many riders we got left? We got it's hard to see. So this is a good draft. We're seeing along here. Got 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of us. There's 4 of us left now. So, but you can see that I'm letting the rider take another turn there, because I'm pretty cooked from trying to hold this guy's wheel, trying to accelerate back up to him. You know, so that's where I'm dead weight for the group, because I'm not pulling a turn now because I'm gassed from being in the back of the bunch. You know, this is where positioning can help your teammates or help your position in the race, and you can contribute to the group work. Now, if I pull a turn, I'm pulling it right off the back because I'm just pretty cooked from that acceleration. Because we're doing about 400 watts. Probably doing about 400 watts now, this last bit, just to hold the gap open. Cruising along this sunny day, beautiful. Adelaide's fantastic. The roads aren't as smooth as Thailand, but the riders are very high quality in Adelaide. Adelaide's got the fittest riders in the world that I know of. I've never been to a place that's got faster riders than Adelaide. And that's why Adelaide produces more world-class riders than anywhere in the world. So Adelaide is definitely a ticket. If you're interested in being a pro-level rider and you live in Australia, then Adelaide's a place you want to move to. Definitely. Because you've got so many fast riders. Watch out for the wheelbarrow. And now the gap opening up again, but you can see I'm not really reacting that much to it, because I know these 2 riders in front will close it down because they're very, very fast guys. All these guys here are sub 13-minute Norton Summit riders, so I know these guys as well. So that sort of helps to know what wheel to hold, because you know that they're going to be able to put the performance in. Now I'm going to go around, and there's like what's this, a traffic light or something like that? I'm not sure what's going on. People are stopping. We're not stopping. We're not stopping for no red lights. Jesus Christ. There's time. This is Norton Summit TT. This is Strava. That's crazy. Those people could be waiting at the red light for eons. They could be waiting there for eons. So now there's 2 of us. There's maybe 3 of us left. I'm not sure. But this is a young rider. I think he's about 19. Very fast. He's got pro-level potential for sure. He can ride the bunch. He can ride downhill. That's another secret. Is you got to be really good at like 18 or 19 in the bunch. If you're not, then chances of being a pro is really, really slim. But you got to be like, you got to be madman in the bunch pretty much. Here we go. So there's just 3 of us left now, and so watch how smooth this guy is. It's straight into the draft. These young guys, they learn so quick. He's just straight onto the wheel. He's just like magnetized to that wheel, just straight into the wheel, no lag. If you let any gap open up, it's just extra work you have to close later on. That's why when people attack, they attack really hard to open up a gap. So just really good drafting here, really good technique. Back into the sun. It's probably about 8:30 in the morning if the sun's that high. On Norton Summit on that last corner. This is called Pretty Lookout. It's yawning the videos, don't I? Need to take more cocaine. But I need some water actually. Need some water and sugar right now. This is a nice morning here for the riding. This is a beautiful Saturday routine at 8 o'clock at Rundle Street. Meet up, and it is quite an experienced bunch. So if you are a noob, it's probably best not to come along. Maybe do the Norton Summit segment to learn the bunch. And that's another thing, is climbing in bunches up hills is a good way to learn the bunch dynamics, because if you have a crash on the flat, you're fucked. But if you crash up a hill, at least you're right. So climbing with fast riders is a good way to learn bunch dynamics. And we're really hammering it now. These are sub 13-minute Norton Summit riders. These are guys like the best of the best in South Australia that aren't pro yet. These guys really know how to fucking hammer it. They're lightweight, they're young, they're full of beans. And I'm just going to sit on there. My legs are pretty cooked with these frisky young lads. And you can see that, again, just right in front in the black and the orange shoes, holds the wheel again. Perfect. Just really good, really smooth riding. And we're going to, now it flattens out about Norton Summit. This is the part where you really want to get the draft. This is where you really want to be in the wheel, because the speed's going over 35k an hour. Once you're going over 25k an hour, draft's really important. And it's the flat spot here we go, just as this is on the left is the rock climbing section. So this is where I've done good here, but I'm starting to look at that little gap. That gap's opening up. This is where I'm paying for those accelerations previously, where I'm riding silly, I'm letting the gaps open up, I'm having to go around riders. This is where now I'm not holding the wheel. This is the last 20, now I just give up. You can see that when that gap opened right up, I just gave up. And I'm like, oh fuck it, go again, but it's too late. You know, I'm just letting these guys get away from me too much. And I'm just, you can see when that gap opened that quick, that I just mentally, just emotional decisions like, oh, I can't be fucked, I'm in too much pain, blah, blah, blah. And you can sort of see, we're still cruising along. So those guys that open up that gap on me, that's really good. That's a really good gap. That's like Mick Lander style. And then I'm picking it up again. I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll just go again. I'll just go again. So you can sort of see, boom. Where are they? The fuck guy, Timmy's he's out of these guys. So that's how you climb like a pro. Hold the wheel, be up the front, top 5. Don't let the gaps open up. Know what riders to follow. You don't need to look at your wattages. Just you got to follow the wheels pretty much. You know, only need to look at your wattages if you're going to attack them. Otherwise, just hold the wheel. You know, stay relaxed, stay breathing, cadence around 90, pay attention, what's up in front, and react very quickly. Don't hesitate. Just get straight on that wheel when the big gap opens up in that fast climb. Otherwise, you're going to be paying for it later on if you have to try and close the wheels, close the gaps. Want more videos like this, give it a thumbs up, like, share, don't subscribe, and we'll see you on the climbs.